Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Blair, and for today's video, we are creating this really bronzy, summery makeup look using the new Natasha Denona Bronze palette and just some other random makeup that I pulled that I thought would go well with this palette. And if you're interested in how I got this look, please keep watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go ahead and get into the makeup. Let's get started. So I've already done my skincare, applied some sunscreen, and now I'm going to take a little bit of my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I'm not sure why I'm using this, but I never use this, and I kind of forget that I have it, so I saw it and I figured I would use a little bit today, mainly right here on the sides of my nose. I don't really struggle with large pores, but I do have pores that I notice right here around my nose area, and this definitely does kind of smooth everything over. Let's apply some corrector. I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish in the shade Medium. I've been using this a ton in my videos, but it's because it's my new favorite corrector. Okay, perfect. And now I'm just going to take my finger and make sure that is nice and blended in. I'm going to mix two concealers. I just love to do it. I don't know. I'm a mixer for sure. I just love to mix things together. I'm going to take my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm still really loving this. I talked about this in my June favorites and how for a very long time I thought I didn't like this concealer, and then suddenly I bought a new shade and realized I actually love it. So I've been using that a ton, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. Just a little right in the center. And I wear the shade number 4 in the Armani Concealer and light 2.3 Madeleine in the Nars Concealer. I'm going to blend that in with my Smashbox Blurring Concealer brush. I have been using the heck out of this brush. I am obsessed with this for concealer. I haven't been using a sponge at all. And that's so crazy because I used to always use a sponge to blend in my concealer, but this brush just makes it so easy. Okay, so I actually really like that concealer combination. I've never tried that, or I've never tried those two together before, but that looks pretty nice. I wanted to use my Anastasia Luminous Foundation today. This was my go-to foundation for months until the Bite Beauty one came out, and then that one became my favorite. But I think this is a little bit light for me. This is the shade 200 Warm. So I'm going to mix a little bit of the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Sunshine drops. I've never mixed these with this foundation, so hopefully this works. Hopefully it's not a disaster. I'm going to take one pump of my Anastasia foundation and just a little tiny squirt of the De Bronzy drops. It was not a full pump. It was like probably less than half a pump. And I'm gonna mix all together on my hand. I'm gonna take my BH Cosmetics number 3 brush and start to blend this in. So for the video today, I wanted to just do a really bronzy makeup look. I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. actually have used it one other time and I filmed it, but I wasn't happy with the footage, so I'm going to do it all over. But the palette itself is really beautiful, and so I wanted to use that again today. This brush blends foundation in so well. I can't believe I just randomly used this one day for my foundation, and I love it. This is one of the brushes from the Crystal Zodiac set from BH Cosmetics. And it's supposed to be used for blush, I guess, but I really like it for foundation. Those drops mixed in really well with this foundation color, actually. I'm just going to take whatever's left and kind of work it into my brush, and then just kind of go back over my face. I remember when these Drunk Elephant drops came out, everyone on YouTube was talking about those, and I never tried them because I didn't really have a need for them, I didn't think, but now I feel like a lot of my foundations for this time of year are not super, super light on me, but they're a little bit light because I have a little bit of color right now. So I thought this would be a nice thing to have to mix in, and I've really been liking them. I am going to set my face with some powder today, and I'm going to use the Bite Beauty Changemaker powder, and this is in the shade number 2. This is one of my favorite powders if I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my e.l.f. Sheer Tint finishing powder, and I'm just going to run a little bit of this under my eyes. This is a really, really light powder, so I like it for under the eyes and on the face also. Now for bronzer, I wanted to use the Cover FX Monochromatic bronzer in the shade Sunkissed Bronze. I haven't used this in a little while, and this is a pretty dark bronzer, so I thought it'd be good for right now since I have a little more color. So you have a matte side and a shimmery side, so I'm just going to mix a little bit of both. These are very pigmented, just like the blushes are. So you don't want to go in with too much because they are on the pigmented side. Yeah, this bronzer is really pretty. Definitely easier for me to use in the summertime though, like I was saying, because it is a little bit deeper for me, but it's really pretty. And for blush, I'm going to use also one of the Cover FX Monochromatic blush duos. This is Soft Peach. This I got, let's see, I got it back when Ulta was doing the 21 Days of Beauty, but this I actually ended up getting from Cover FX because I remember when these went on sale, Cover FX decided to price match the blushes because they sold out so fast on Ulta. These are really, really pretty. I love this peachy color. So again, I'm going to mix both the matte side and the shimmer side. Again, you don't need a lot because they are very pigmented. I'm going to take some across my nose also. Some on my forehead. And now we'll move on to the eyebrows. And I actually, believe it or not, have a new brow pencil, and it's the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I was running out of my Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I decided I was kind of in the mood to try something else, and I feel like Benefit is also really known for their eyebrow products, so I decided to try this out. I've used it a few times. I still haven't totally gotten the hang of it yet. You know how I feel like brow products are one of those things where it's a little bit harder to switch this up because you get really accustomed to a certain product, and then if you use something else it just feels very foreign. So I haven't gotten the hang of this really yet, but I do really like the color. This is the shade 3.5. I'll say this pencil is really easy to use. Like, you barely even have to push down to get the pigment. It's very, very concentrated. So you don't have to really bear down to fill it in or to fill your brows in. Then I'm just going to take my Believe Beauty Clear Brow Gel, like always, and brush them up. Now to the fun part. I'm going to use the new Natasha Denona Bronze palette, and this is a really beautiful palette. It is great quality in my opinion. I have two Natasha Denona palettes, and then I have two of the minis. So I have this one, the new bronze. I have the Biba palette, and I'll compare the two. So here is the Biba, here is the bronze. The Biba is obviously bigger. This one retails for $128, this one retails for $65, and so the bronze is about half of the Biba, but the Biba, you have larger pan sizes, and it's definitely more neutral. It's not so warm. This is an extremely warm palette, and it is beautiful. But what I will say, since I've used this once, today will be my second time, most of the looks that you get with this palette may vary slightly, but most of them are going to be very similar. So if you are not someone that gravitates to these kinds of tones, I would definitely skip this one because you're not going to use this. So I would not spend $65 on it if you don't love these warm bronzy tones. I am first going to use my Nars Tinted eyeshadow base, like always, and then I'll just kind of blend that in. I am first going to go into the shade Beach, which is really the lightest matte color in the palette, so it's the most obvious transition shade to me. And I'm just going to lightly apply this as my crease color. This is a really fluffy brush, so it's applying it really, really lightly in my crease. This is a Morphe M504. Okay, so that shade is really nice. I did not use much of it, and you still get a good bit of color payoff. So that is something I noticed the first time I used this palette. For me, the color payoff is pretty immediate, and it's with the tiniest amount of eyeshadow. So that is definitely a thumbs up from me. Now I'm going to mix the shade Sundown and, let's see, Ridge. So this one and this one. These are both a little more of a yellow, kind of golden tone. So I'm going to mix a little bit of both of those and go through my crease with these as well. Kind of trying to keep this like right here where I can feel the crease. One thing I do wish was in this palette is a really deep chocolate brown. They do have the shade we're going to use next, which is Suntan, and it is a brown, but it's a little bit more of, it's not a true chocolatey brown. It's more of a reddish kind of suntan color. That's exactly what it looks like, is that really pretty bronzy tan color. But I do wish they had one that was just slightly darker. So I am now going to go into the shade Suntan, which is here. And it's a really pretty color. I just wish they had more of a chocolatey color in the palette, but it's pretty. And for this, I'm going to tap in my outer corner. That is a really beautiful shade though. I love it. Again, very pigmented, so I would use small amounts until you build up the darkness or the depth that you want. Pretty. This is the BH Cosmetics number 8 brush, and this is also from the Crystal Zodiac collection. I've been loving these brushes since I got them. They're really nice, really awesome assortment of brushes, eye brushes and face brushes. Now I'm just taking the second brush that we used and I'm just lightly going over everything. I want this to look really, really diffused. Not harsh at all. I just want it to look very, very naturally bronzy, if that makes sense. Now I think, I may regret doing this, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to take a little bit of this Magma shade. It's kind of a dark burgundy, or I guess it's kind of a brown with a little bit of a red, kind of a cherry brown. And for this, I'm going to take this little BH Cosmetics number 11, also from that same Zodiac collection. It's just a little, kind of a really tiny shader brush. And I'm getting some of that color on the very tip. I'm going to try to create a little bit of a wing shape with this color, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm just kind of tapping this. And then kind of pulling it inward. Just to make a little bit of a darker kind of wing shape. Basically just kind of following my bottom lash line. And just kind of creating a little bit of a really subtle wing shape. Okay, just like that. So I think that's really pretty. It's not anything super precise or harsh at all. And then I'm going to take my fluffy brush again and kind of diffuse everything. Now let's use some of these shimmers, and you guys, these shimmers in here are really pretty. I mean, they're super, super pretty. So, and I love them all. It's so hard to choose. I can't put them all on my eyes, even though I would like to. I'm going to go into this one called Palladium, and it's a little bit of a brown shimmer, almost like a taupey brown with some golden shimmer. It's really pretty. So I'm going to take this on my finger. I found that my finger works the best with this kind of shade. So I'm just tapping this on the outer part of my lid here. I've been trying to do this recently also. I try to bring my shimmer shades up a little bit further up into the crease area, just so it looks a little more gradual and not so like shimmer on the lid and then matte on the crease. I feel like if you bring it up a little bit, it helps kind of blend everything together. I think I want to take True Bronze, which is right here. And I will say a few of these do look pretty similar, so the shimmers, I mean. So you're going to get a similar look no matter which one you apply. But holy crap, look at that. Love it. So I'm putting this right in the center of the lid and kind of dragging it up. That shade, True Bronze. Oh. I'm going to take, this is kind of the lightest shimmer shade in the palette. It's Silk, which is right here. It actually looks lighter in the pan to me than it does when you actually put it on your eyes. I used this color the other day, but it's very pretty. So this I'm going to take on my pinky and just tap. Tap this on the eye and oh. Okay, I'm going to go back into Beach, which is the first shade that we used, and a crease brush, but it's a little bit, it's a lot more tapered. Actually, this is the BK Beauty 202, and I'm just gonna lightly add a little more of this color to the crease just so it doesn't get lost, and kind of bring it up towards the brow. I did not get the face palette in this collection. It looked really pretty. I just didn't feel like I would use it. So I skipped the face palette, but it does look pretty. And I also skipped the lip, I guess they're lip glosses. I think there are 3 of them. I did not get those, just because I don't know, they didn't speak to me in a big way, so I skipped those. But look at the eyes. I just love it, love it. Love it. What shade do I want to use on the bottom lash line? I think I want to use Suntan, which is the really pretty brown. And then I think I might mix a little bit of Sundown. Yeah, so this one and this one. I'm just going to mix both of them. And we're going to put some of this on the lower lash line and kind of connect up to where we had that shade in the outer corner. I love this brush too. This brush is perfect for the lower lash line. It's the BK Beauty 204. I believe it's called the Smudge It brush, but it fits so well, like right under your eye. This palette, like I was saying earlier, a lot of the looks you do are gonna look similar to this. They're gonna be very orangey, terracotta, warm tones. So if you're not really into that, I would skip this and wait for a more neutral palette, or wait for a sale and get the Biba palette, because I love the Biba and it has some bronzy tones, but it's not as warm as this one. So just my 2 cents, but it is a gorgeous palette. It is a little pricey, definitely, but it's great quality. The shadows blend really well, so I am happy with it. And so now I'm going to take a little bit of this Charlotte Tilbury Rockin' Coal liquid eye pencil, and this is Barbarella Brown. And I'm going to put a little bit of this on my waterline. I'm going to curl my eyelashes. So were you guys interested in this Natasha Denona Bronze palette? I was going to do like a whole video and do swatches and everything, but then before I could really do it, I felt like there were so many videos on it that I just decided I would just use it in a video and not do like a dedicated video to it. I do feel like things are kind of starting to really ramp up, especially with the new releases with makeup. I feel like a lot of new things are coming out. I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs, what is this called? This is the Velvet Primer, Epic Lash Primer. So some of you may remember, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I got this primer back during the Sephora sale. I guess it was April maybe. I forget when that sale even was, but I've been using it. I haven't been using it every day, but I have been using it, and I still cannot make up my mind about it. I just don't see a huge difference with my mascara when I use this. So yeah, I'm still undecided. I don't know. For mascara, I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown Smokey Eye Mascara. I really like this mascara. Okay, moving on to the lips. I'm being very indecisive. I cannot decide what I want to use. I think I'm going to use this Makeup Forever Artist pencil. This one is Anywhere Caffeine. This is a little more brown than I would usually use, but I think it's really pretty. And then I'm going to take Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. Kind of just going over the Anywhere Caffeine. This is going to be the most complicated lip combo ever. I'm going to take the Becca Ultimate Lip Love lipstick in the shade Dune. I love this lip formula from Becca. They are so, so nice. I want to put a little bit of a gloss on top, but I don't know which gloss because I can't find. I wanted to use Buxom Hot Toddy, but I cannot find it. I found my gloss. This is Buxom Hot Toddy. I love this gloss. I'm going to take a little bit of my ColourPop Setting Mist. Okay, so this is the finished look. I love how this came out. It goes perfectly. That's why I wore this shirt, in case you were wondering, because I knew these eyes would go well with this color. But this palette, guys, is beautiful. But just remember, if you don't love these tones, skip this one because you're not going to use this palette. But I love warm tones, so I love it. And it's great quality. I really like using it the 2 times that I have used it. And I am excited about this glowy, bronzy makeup look that we created today. I love everything about it. I love all of these tones. They go really well together. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed yet, I hope you will consider doing so before you leave today. I post new videos every Wednesday and Friday. Also, make sure to follow me over on Instagram at the same username, simply.blair. I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.